So as a early stage investigator, I want to help people feel better. I want to help people get better, help people live long, healthy, productive lives. And for me, one way to do that is, okay, how can I intervene in their life? How can I get them to stop a behavior or continue a behavior or start a behavior? And for me, it's kind of like I'm going to develop an intervention to help them either stop a behavior, start a behavior, or continue a behavior that's beneficial for them. This intervention usually has, it incorporates some education, some cues to action, some prompts. But once we realize that it works, then what? A lot of times people develop, I don't want to be a researcher or a scientist that just develops an intervention that works in this one case and then move on to the next intervention. Why continue to reinvent the wheel when you know something works? I'm interested in figuring out how to get this intervention that I developed into other communities, into other locations, into other hands. And that is why I am interested in the commercialization. It's really about whether or not am I going to get it into other hands through commercialization, or is it just going to be about it works in one setting and figuring out how to change it so it works in a different setting. Once when growing your interventions, there's more than one way to do it. And so I see STTR and SBIR grants as one way versus the more traditional academic ways. And as a junior faculty member, figuring out which way works best for me and which is in line with where I think I want to go, because that may change, as I progress in my career. And yes, I am not quite sure if I will go the route of SBIR grants, but thinking about who's willing to pay for something, who sees value in your interventions is a skill that I want to take to the next grant that I write, because that's going to help with the dissemination later on. Even if I don't do the commercialization route, it's going to help with people saying, yes, we value your product and we want to incorporate your product into whatever else they're doing in their clinic or in their insurance company or their primary care practice office. So that's something that I'd like to just that opportunity to figure out values clarification, like who sees value in this, and having a chance to talk to someone to figure out what do I need to do to tweak my interventions to increase their perception that it's valuable. As a result of going through these pre-conference workshops, going through the sprint training program, and networking with others, these commercialization grants sound very interesting. But as a junior faculty member, what gives me pause is the fact that I'm not sure how that fits into my current path via tenure and promotion. Because it feels as if in order to be successful with commercialization of your intervention, you have to get you have to get diverse partnerships that require you to shift your focus from purely researching content to this other avenue that you don't know, and learning other skills that you don't have, and to get other skills that you don't have. And it's unclear in my current institution how that would weave into my tenure and promotion process. How do you wear two hats and still hit the milestones for tenure? Being able to get those questions answered is going to help them figure out whether or not this is the path that they want to take. A lot of the people that we see that are able to successfully obtain these commercialization grants are not junior. So maybe that means that in order to do it, this is a 10-year timeline where you spend the early years of your career working on content, flushing out your ideas, figuring out which theories help you achieve your research goals. And then once you have that behind you and you have funding behind you that says, yes, I am a content expert in this, then you can switch a little bit and go this other commercialization method and pathway. But I don't see how you can do it starting out I just don't see how you can do it. And if those questions were answered, it would be easier to take those answers to the powers that be at my institution to say, hey, this is how SBIR grants or commercialization grants fit into the tenure promotion process. And here's why you should give me the space to explore these other avenues, because it fits in and I won't be delayed in hitting my clock, my tenure promotion clocks.